All right. Welcome back to Duskwood. It is finally here, episode 9. Now, I wanted to make sure that we got this quick introduction to episode 9 out of the way and, straight to you guys as quickly as possible. But going forward from here, it will be strictly live streams. But without further ado, let's get into episode 9. Oh, it's so good to be back. Got Thomas, Cleo, Dan, got the group chat going. Guys, I just really got a bad phone call. Someone just called me. Oh, feels good. It feels good. It was the man without a face. It was the attacker. Yeah, it was definitely the man without a face. He called us right after he was chasing Jesse and Thomas. What'd he say? I'm not sure how to say it. He said he wants to kill you. Don't say anything. Look, it's time. It's time to be completely honest with the group chat. I mean, no more secrets, right? So look, we're not going to try to dumb it down. We're not trying to, not necessarily dumb it down, but we're not trying to make it sound any way other than what it is. Look, he says he wants to kill everybody. Just like he did to the mechanic, he says. He specifically said your names. Yes, he said all your names. And he wants me to watch. Sorry, it's not easy for me to write this. And in the end, he would come for me. His voice was full of hatred. Look, in the end, I think he's going to come for me. What doesn't make sense, though, is that if he's following the legend, I mean, what sin have we all committed that would make him want to come and attack us, other than the fact that maybe the man without a face is starting to go off script a little bit? He's starting to go off script from the actual legend, and now he's just trying to save his own butt, and he has to get rid of all of the witnesses. This is payback for Thomas and me, right? Not necessarily. No, I don't think it's necessarily payback, because if it was payback, he wouldn't already have everything in his secret little hidey house. He wouldn't have all that stuff in his secret room with all of our pictures and all of the messages. This is planned. It's planned. So it's not necessarily because of payback. And he's threatened us a lot of times before. Of course, what else? Oh, it's good to see Dan. You ran into his house head first. Of course he wants to show us who's boss. I think Dan was the man without a face. I think Dan was playing the man without a face in that last video. I think the shoes were a dead giveaway. Did you manage to reach anyone, Lily? Yes. They're on their way to Michael Hansons' house, and we'll look around. The officer on the phone assured me. Okay, that's good. I'm not sure if it's Michael Hanson or not. I feel like there's a lot of attention going towards Michael Hanson, but I'm not sure. Ooh, was the officer's name Alan by any chance? Alan might have a part in all of this as well. Like, is Alan trying to cover things up? I didn't pay attention to his name when he answered the phone. Michael Hanson called tongue-tied Lily. He's after us now. Well, that's who we assume it is. We don't know exactly if it's Michael Hanson or not. But he won't come that far, right? Michael Hanson might not, but the man without a face might. Because when the police get to Michael Hanson's house, and see what we saw, then they're going to arrest him, and all of this will be over. Can't be sure of that because we don't know if it actually is Michael Hanson. That's what we're guessing. That's what we're assuming. Our culprit isn't exactly careless. We can't be sure, but we can at least hope. Jake is right. Look, Jake is right. Oh, it's good to see Jake again. Oh, man, it's been so long. It's been too long. It's been too damn long. Worst case, he might just get rid of all the evidence. It would be stupid just hoping for it to be the end. I'm pretty sure that he's gone. He's going to flee. It would be stupid just hoping for it to be. Look. I don't want to say it's stupid for it just to be all of a sudden over, but, I think it would be silly for us to think that Michael Hanson's just going to stop. Or that Michael Hanson is after they arrest Michael Hanson or if they find Michael Hanson, it's just going to be over with. It's silly to assume that. Worst case, he just might get rid of all the evidence. I'm pretty sure that he's going to flee. It doesn't matter if he gets rid of the evidence or not, I don't think. I mean, we have video evidence. So if he gets rid of his evidence, we still have something to go off of. And I don't think he's going to flee. So I think it'd be silly for us just hoping for it to be the end. Then let's go to the house in the forest that Richie talked about right now. Yes, right now. But wasn't Richie taken out near that house in the forest? I am not sure how seriously we should be taking this threat. But I am sure, Jake, it was different this time. Too much has happened for us to ignore his threats. So there's not really any direction that we can go other than conflicting with Jake. Jake's not sure how serious we should be taking the threats, but none of these answers here kind of give us the opportunity to say, I agree with Jake. They're all kind of going against what Jake is saying. So, but I mean, was it different this? I mean, it was kind of different this time. We got face to face with the man without a face. Too much has happened for us to ignore his threats. That's true as well. Look, I think that's it. I mean, so much has happened for us to be ignoring his threats right now. I mean, Richie is gone. Jake definitely heard the call. He definitely didn't mention Jake, but maybe he doesn't know about Jake. He has no idea what or who Jake is. I do not believe it would be within his power to locate me. That's true. However, if it was somebody part of the group, they would have mentioned Jake. They would have said something saying or showing their knowledge of Jake, not necessarily of where he is, but just saying like something about the hacker, right? If it was somebody from the group. Or maybe it is somebody from the group and they left Jake out to keep suspicion off of them. Because if it's not somebody from the group, then they wouldn't know who Jake is, right? I don't know. I wasn't reading through when we were going through this. So Dan says he didn't. Interesting. I do not believe it is within his power to locate me. Dan says, and that's why you can't say we when you're talking about how seriously we should be taking someone, right? Right. I mean, that's a good point. I mean, Jake can't use the word we, because he's not at threat. Jake isn't the one at threat. Jake isn't the one that's getting attacked. Jake isn't the one that's getting, essentially taken out. And they don't know where Jake is. So Jake's not the we that he should be talking about, unfortunately. I mean, I love Jake, but Dan is right in this sense. It's not Jake that's in danger. It's everyone else. So Jake doesn't need to be taking it seriously. Everyone else, I think, does need to take it seriously. You should all just go to this. You should all go to this damn house in the woods right now. End of story. We've talked about this. I'm not going without Richie. Well, Richie's not here. Your safety is definitely a priority. If you go now, our investigation will be as good as over. Yes, Thomas. Let's see what Thomas has to say. I mean, their safety is definitely a priority. I mean, that's definitely the case. Jesse, you won't be able to help Richie if you get killed by this maniac. I can't just run away and leave him. But Richie's no longer there. Like, Richie's no longer with us. Richie isn't alive anymore, Jesse. And if he is alive, we should definitely make sure that it seems like we believe he's not alive. If the man without a face is actually following what we're saying, or if the man without a face is part of the group. I know how you're feeling, Jesse. Richie isn't alive. Look, Richie's not. I mean, based off the video that we saw, Richie is not alive anymore, Jesse. You gotta kind of come to terms with it. Thomas has Hannah's cell phone. How'd you get Hannah's cell phone? You got what? How did you get Hannah's cell? Was it in Michael Hansons' house? And you just happened to pick it up? I found it in that weird room with all those pictures on the walls. It was just lying there on the table. I thought it was Michael Hansons first, so I took it. Never mentioned that before. But I just took a closer look at it and noticed a scratch on the back, and that's how I recognized it. It's definitely Hannah's phone. That's good. That's good, though. To have Hannah's phone, I bet we can get a lot of information out of that phone. It's crazy, but I can't turn it on. Plug it in. It's probably just needs to be charged up. Look, it's probably just dead. Possible. I mean, that would be my first guess. Plug that bitch in. Thomas, please contact the cellular, or please connect the cellular phone to a power supply immediately. Once the battery has been charged up to 20%, you will inform us. In the meantime, it is of utmost importance that you do not turn the phone on or try using it in any way. Do you understand? Yes, I do. It is possible that Hannah's phone could be traceable by the man without a face. So if he turns it on, it could activate a location, and the man without a face could then find the location of said phone. So that is probably a good idea not to turn on. That was probably good information that Jake gave us. What are you going to do with Hannah's phone? I'm sure he can access it somehow. Hannah's smartphone is possibly an important piece of evidence for our case. I don't think there's any possibility about it. I think it's a huge piece of information, huge piece of evidence. I would like to create a controlled environment for our investigations. I see. That would be great. Lily's talking to Jesse. It's only a matter of time, really, until they arrest Michael Hanson. We've almost made it. They're putting a lot of attention towards Michael Hanson. So please, let's just think about our own safety. Until that mask, until that hood comes off, I'm not pinpointing on anybody. You only have to hold out a little longer. You've done enough, Jesse. Jake and I are still going to investigate. Should we just let Jesse know that she's done enough? Everyone's done a lot. Thomas is finally coming into his own and actually helping with the investigation, other than just trying to break into people's bars. But it seems like everyone's done a lot. Lily has definitely done a lot now in the past episode or two to really help us. Past 2 episodes. I think episode 7 was when she really started helping out. Jake and I are still going to investigate. You've done enough. You only have to hold out a little longer. Look, Jake and I are still going to investigate. Right, Jake? Of course he's going to say yes. Indeed we are. Please, let's leave Duskwood. It is important. They need to get to safety. Remember Richie's words. Because I've forgotten them already. You can return to Duskwood anytime. Always listen to Tongue-Tied, whatever happens. Did he say that? Did Richie say that? Always listen to Tongue-Tied, whatever happens, no matter what happens? I mean, it's the only thing that's in quotes. I'm going to go with that. Always look, and that's good. That's good advice for anyone. Anyone that's watching this game right now and actually listening to this, that's good advice. Always listen to Tongue-Tied, no matter what. Whatever happens, always listen to Tongue-Tied. Like, he never said that. So is that a yes? It's good advice. Solid advice. All right, Jesse's on board. She's on board. She's going to the house. It's settled then. We're leaving Duskwood and moving to the secret house in the forest for a while. There you go. There you go. Perfect. Finally, you're starting to talk sense again. Look who's talking. Look who's talking, Dan. Talking about talking sense. So Thomas can drive us all if you want. Sounds like a good idea. You got a car that fits everybody. That's nice of you to offer, Thomas, but there's something I'd like to do real quick first. What would that be, Cleo? You guys go ahead. I'll join you later. What are you doing, Cleo? It wouldn't be bad to have 2 cars anyways. And what is it that you'd like to do? Both of them are good answers. I mean, both of them are good responses. It actually wouldn't be a bad idea to have 2 cars, but I'm kind of curious as to what Cleo wants to do. I just want to see my mom. It's the Pine Glade tomorrow. That's tomorrow. Apparently it's tomorrow. So that's why the road to the town square was blocked off. You know Tongue-Tied. It's a long message. There we go. The Gate of Hope organizes the festival, and that always means lots of work and stress for the members, especially for my mom, and usually I'm always there to help her. Oh, okay. I understand. But you're not going to help her now, right? But don't stay too long. Look, I understand. Cleo wants to help her mom, and it's. I bet it's stressful. I'm sure it's very stressful. But we need to make sure everyone's safe. So Cleo, just don't take too long. I have a feeling something's gonna happen to Cleo because she's hanging back. But look, don't take too long, Cleo. Make sure you get to safety. Make sure you get to that house as soon as possible. I want to at least go and tell her that I haven't forgotten her. Oh, and I'd like to go home first, too. See, now look what you did, Cleo. I said yes to you. Now I got to say yes to everybody else. I took a ton of pictures of Michael's house, and I'd like to upload them for Tongue-Tied and Jake. Was it Jess's apartment? Was it her door that got marked? Or was it Phil's apartment? Somebody's apartment got marked. I thought it was Jesse's. Because I think it was Jesse's apartment that got marked when Phil was arrested. So that's how we were like, oh, it's not Phil because Jesse's apartment got marked while Phil was in custody. So that might not be a good idea. I mean, maybe there's a computer at the cabin. I mean, that can wait. Sounds good. I'm excited to see them. You know what? I'm excited to see them. You upload those pictures. Upload the pictures. I want to see them. I want to see all the pictures. But you need to hurry. I hope they turned out okay. I haven't looked at them myself yet. And I have to pack my stuff. So Lily has to pack her stuff. Okay. So, all right. So everybody's going back home. Something not good is going to happen. Just say when you're all ready. All right. I said yes to Cleo. Now I have to say yes to everybody. Hurry up and please be careful. Drive safely. Talk to you later. Look, hurry up and be careful. We will. I hope so. I sure hope so. See you later. Thomas is now offline. Dan, Cleo, Jesse. I guess we just don't say bye anymore. I gotta see you later from Jesse, and everyone else just logs offline. No one wants to say bye. All right, bye everybody. And now we're back in the cloud working on these mini games. So that was the quick introduction to Duskwood Episode 9. Again, going forward from here, we are going to be doing all live streams for the remainder of Episode 9. But I wanted to make sure that I got an episode out, the first part, the introduction to Episode 9 out there for you guys as soon as possible, as quickly as I could, once I got the notification that the update was ready. Hope you guys are enjoying Duskwood. It's great to be back in Episode 9. If you haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and don't miss out on any stream or any episode or any part going forward. Turn on the bell notifications, that way you don't miss out. As always, thanks for watching. Love you all, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.